Ever since the donation of the 2 Mac Minis, this Intel Core 2 Duo model and the G4 model, I have had tons of requests to do videos on them. And yes, I do have an awesome plan related to these Mac Minis. But first, I need to sort them out a little bit. Here we have a 1.83 GHz Core 2 Duo Mac Mini. It's currently got 1 GB of RAM and I believe an 80 GB hard drive. We're going to sort that right here, right now. First off, I upgraded the RAM in my MacBook Pro to 4 GB from 2 GB. So of course, I have these 2 GB left over. Now you can put 4 GB in the Mac Mini, but it will only recognise 3. And you can put 3 GB in the Mac Mini, a 2 GB stick and a 1 GB stick. But, you know, I have these and they'll run in dual channel mode. There we are, 1 gig each, and that'll have 2 gigs of RAM. Awesome. Second thing we have is this 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. This is a Toshiba drive, an original Apple drive, 500 GB in capacity, and this came from James's MacBook Pro when he upgraded to a hybrid drive. So all of this was free. The Mac Mini was donated to the channel. The RAM I had left over from another upgrade that I did, and James gave me the hard drive as payment for changing his hard drive in his MacBook Pro. So the way I see it is, I'm doing some lovely upgrades to this Mac Mini, and it's not costing me a penny. And this is going to be such a fun video to make. So sit back, relax, strap in, let's put up with the intro, and then let's do some Mac Mini upgrade goodness. Before we open up this Mac Mini and start fiddling with it, I'm going to just test it just to make sure it works beforehand. Now I did play around a lot with this when I first got it, but it's best to double check before we do the upgrade. So power button. And we should hear a bong. Can't tell if it's on or not. Hang on, let me check if I've switched the power adapter on. Ah, yes I have. Okay, let's try it again. Come on. Here we go. And there's the faint little bong, and if we go down to the display, there we have it, the Apple logo. Fabulous. So, let's wait for this bad boy to boot up. So here we have the Mac Mini. It's currently running Snow Leopard. Let's log in. And here we are, right at the desktop. Lovely clean install of Snow Leopard. But what we're going to do, guys, is just check out the specs before we upgrade it. So about this Mac, you can see it is a 1.83 GHz Intel Core 2 Duo. Really nice that it's a Core 2 Duo because it supports Lion. I'm not the biggest fan of Lion, but the support is still generally really good. So yeah, it'll be handy for what I want to use this machine for, which will all be revealed. And then 1 gig of RAM. We'll be doubling that to 2 gigs, and that'll be DDR2 667 megahertz, of course. It's currently running 6.8, newest version of Snow Leopard. Let's go more info. And we'll check out graphics. This has the standard GMA 950 with 64 megs of shared video RAM, so terribly weak graphics, but this is how they were back in the day, and my MacBook had it, and you know, it was great for what it was back in the day. I won't be using this machine for anything graphically intense anyway. This has a CD rewriter drive, which is cool, so I believe it should read DVDs as well, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, it's got to read DVDs probably. And anyway, here's the drive that's in it now. It's a Hitachi 80GB drive, so we'll be upgrading to a 500 gig. Now I will be putting this drive in an external enclosure in order to save particular something that's on here, which is the complete season 1 to 5 of Pokemon. So check this out, guys. First ever episode of Pokemon. Let's just quickly have a little look at this. There we go. Don't want to get done for copyright. So yeah, it's got a lot of Pokemon on it. So that is fabulous. So yeah, that was really entertaining when it was originally donated. But anyway, we are going to shut down this beast. And what I'm now going to do is locate the necessary tools to disassemble this and get this thing upgraded. So even though this is quite a complex, little designed, compact computer, you really don't need a lot to get into it. You need a putty knife or something very thin, credit card, no thank you really. Yeah, I don't think that would work. You need a Phillips screwdriver, a little one. And also, I've got these cool things to have a little go at later, which are sort of plastic pry tools that my dad said that it used them to pry off car door panels and stuff when they have the little clips in them. So, everyone seems to be using putty knives. I've never opened a Mac Mini before. Don't know what side to start on. So I think I'm just gonna tip it upside down and jab it in and see what it does. Now, a putty knife, by nature, has one rounded corner and one sharp corner. So I assume that if I put the sharp corner in and do this, wow. Now that doesn't feel very nice. But, you know, this is the way you do it. And you can feel the clips unpopping. Yeah, unpop. Wow, pop, pop. Oh. Oh, there she goes. Not a nice job. Let me hold it with this. Guess it's handy to have something to hold it with. Oh no, not nice at all. Now, I don't think I'm being brutal enough. I'm gonna have to go back round and be even more brutal, I think. This side is off. Ooh, where am I going? Stick that in there to hold that while I do this side. Oh, Jesus. Oh, there she goes, Jesus. Right, we have it. Wow. At least I think we have it. We've got one clip here maybe. Yeah, there we go. Oh, what's that that's come out? A clob of dust, is it? Right then, there's the lid of the Mac Mini. Weighty little thing. Quality, of course. That is... What the hell is that? That's a bug, is it? Hang on a sec. Let's get that closer. Let's have a look with the magnifying glass. Check that out, guys. I think that's a dead bug. Oh, bloody hell, that's minging, isn't it? Right, cool, whatever. Let's put him over there. Let's keep him there for now. Lovely, he can watch me upgrading this. Okay, so where was I? Right then, I'm not too sure what you do with this really, guys. Now, I know you're meant to take these antennas off, I think, so squeeze that. That's the airport antenna, and that pings off. Now, there's a screw per corner, I believe, so let's have a little look for the screws. Let's take that spring off and keep that safe. Get the screwdriver and undo the screws, wherever they may be. I may need quite a long screwdriver for one of them. This antenna could... Does this come off? Not sure if this one comes off, guys. Don't want to pull too hard. No, okay, there. I can undo it with it there anyway. There's one screw. Yeah, so like I said, I believe there's a screw per corner. It's just really hard to see where they are. Tell you what we do before we tackle the screws, guys. We'll take off this ribbon cable that will need to be taken off. So sorry that I didn't film it, guys. I had to use a magnifying glass and a flathead screwdriver to get this ribbon cable off. I've got really poor eyesight, so these small things are very tricky for me. But if we come round, the next thing that I need to attend to is this little connector down here, right at the back. This one here. So I reckon a set of needle nose pliers will do the trick. So I thought the tools that we needed were, you know, we didn't need a lot, but it turns out that we do. So let's grab a little pair of pliers, because it's right in there. I'll have to do this one off camera as well, guys. Okay, so that's that connector free on the corner. Very small. Very small indeed. Right, so I can now continue with the screws. Oh, dearie me, that was fairly difficult for someone with eyesight like me, but I've got all 4 screws. They were really hidden. So yeah, now we can yank this off, I believe. And looks like I'm still connected. I took off the wrong connector, basically, guys. So that's what I did wrong there. Come on. There we go. So that's that unplugged. I'll have to check what I unplugged. Ah yeah, I unplugged the wrong one. Okay, let me put this to one side. I unplugged this back one. I should really watch tutorials before I do stuff. That's easy to plug back in anyway. Right then, now we have got this thing open. So it should be simple enough to make a start. Let's move the optical drive assembly over there for a second. And let's start with the RAM before we forget. So, of course, simple enough. Let's take out the old memory. There we go. There's one stick, 512 megs. And then this bottom set. Again, 512 megs. Awesome. So we are replacing that with 2 1 gig sticks. Let's get them out. Okay, here they are. Now, I've said this in one of my last videos, it's strange that I'm working with all these little components. I never work with stuff this small, which is interesting, you know, I'm always doing desktop stuff. But anyway, let's get this RAM in. So here's the first 1 gig stick. This came straight out of my MacBook Pro. Get down in there. There we go, there's the bottom one in. Close that down. Boom. Lovely. And then here's the top one. Here she is, little 1 gig stick. Very nice. There's the second stick. Click in. Lovely. Now before we forget, I'll just reconnect this cable. Whatever it does. Looks like an earth cable actually. Yeah, it looks like a little earth. So let me get the magnifying glass out and reconnect that. So that's all reconnected, and that is pretty much this bottom bit good to go. So lovely. RAM is changed. Next thing is taking a look at this. This is the optical drive / hard drive assembly. So I believe we need to take out these 2 screws at the side. That looks about right. Yes, they are Phillips screws, but they are quite big. Quite big Phillips screws. Versus the other ones. Okay, so I'll put those there safe next to the bug, and then 2 top ones. Boom, boom, sorted. Now this drive should come out somehow. let's take a little look at how this should be coming out. Lift out the side. There we go. That's the drive free. So this is an Apple branded original Hitachi 80GB 2.5-inch SATA laptop drive. So let's get the new drive. Well, James's old drive. Put that like that. I assume we've got to swap the fluff over. Lovely, there's the fluff replaced. Let's get this back into the anti-static. Over there safe. And let's get this in here. New drive is in at last, thank God for that. Right, let's get this guy back onto the operating table. And let's get this guy and place him back down on top. Like so. Hey, hey. Okay, what have we got going here? Fabulous, right. That's back down. Now time to just screw it back and plug it back in and yeah, other difficult stuff. There we go folks, a little painstaking, but we have got the system back together. Now all we need to do is slap the lid on. Ooh, a little quick note that I'd like to make is my airport antenna came unplugged. I won't be using it so it doesn't matter, but you know, whatever. To plug it back in, you literally have to take the whole thing apart again, like take the optical drive assembly thing off, so you know, there's no way, there's no hope I'm doing that again, no chance whatsoever. So let's just slap the lid back on, boom, and that, I think that's it. It just sort of slaps back on like so, which is quite entertaining actually. Right then guys, let's boot her up and give it a go. So guys, we're all plugged in, let's press that power button. There's the bong, that's a good sign. Let's go down to the display. And here we have it, there's the display. Okay. No Apple logo yet. For whatever reason. Still nothing. Quite strangely. Okay. Yes, here we go. There's an Apple logo. What a beauty. Just took a little while to come up. Now, this is James's hard drive, so this will boot into James's OS. I'll probably do a fresh install because this is an original OS from, you know, when he had his MacBook Pro. But friggin' hell, I'm so glad to see this start up, guys. So glad. And what we'll do once it boots up is we'll take a look at the specs. So we have booted up, guys, and of course this is James's password screen. Now I've just texted him asking him what his password is, so that we can get into here. But you know, I don't have a clue. I think it's a series of letters and numbers if I remember correctly. Let me just try a couple of his old passwords that I know from back in the day. No, if it's not that one, it won't be any of the ones I know. No, okay, no worries. So, even though I know James quite well, I'm not going to guess his password. So, we're just going to sit tight until he contacts me. So, James can't remember his password. It's not the end of the world. Because, you know, I can just boot into an install disk and install the OS. I would like to get into the operating system before doing that, just to check that both sticks of RAM are detected. This booted up really slowly, and I'd like to, before I install a new OS, you know, I'd like to take it apart again today if I need to use one of these sticks. So, you know, to give me a gig and a half or whatever if one of the sticks isn't working. But I assume that they both are. I don't have a Lion install disk, so this will be a future video. It would be really handy if I could get into this operating system, because then I could just make a new user account and wipe all the data off of it. But yeah, he doesn't know his password, so that's not to worry. I'll see what I can do, actually. There might be something I might be able to do about that. But anyway, this is probably it for this video, guys. So it's been extremely exciting upgrading this Mac Mini. Like I've said a million times now, I had a load of requests for Mac Mini stuff. So it's nice to finally be doing some. So here she is. Nice little beauty. Looking forward to using it for what I want to use it for. I'm going to be using it in conjunction with the Mac Mini G4, which is really cool. That'll be James texting me back now, actually. Let me have a quick read of that, see if he's remembered. Nah, okay, fair. He just, yeah, okay. He just tried. Fair enough. Right, he doesn't remember his password. I don't think he understands how much quite a nightmare it is to take these things apart. But anyway, that's it for this Mac Mini video. It's been a cool one. Expect more Mac Mini videos in the future. Don't know if there'll be any more this week because I don't have a Lion disc, but then again I could just burn one. So yeah, not sure what the rest of the week's going to be video wise, but maybe more Mac Mini stuff. So if you've enjoyed this video, please head down into the video description. You can check out all my cool stuff. Follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, and just all that basic stuff that you guys know what to do. Other than that, huge thank you for watching my video, guys. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Feel free to give it a thumbs down if you did not. Wow, that's a giant hand. Look at that. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.